Hey guys, and welcome back to Egypt. In this video, we're taking you along with us as we climb to nearly 8,000 feet to watch the sunrise from the summit of Mount Sinai. Then come with us to the laid-back beachy town of Dahab, where we dive on a few of the coolest sites in the Sinai Peninsula, including the deadliest dive site in the world, the infamous Blue Hole. So Colton and I, along with our friends Sarah and Doug, we decided to hike Mount Sinai. So to see the sunrise from Mount Sinai, you have to start the hike pretty much in the middle of the night. So we met our guide and we started around 11:30. As you climb, there are about 7 tea houses. They sell tea, coffee, snacks, and it's a great place to kind of rest a little bit. So you reach an altitude of just over 2,000 meters at the top. When you reach the summit, there is one more tea house where you can rent both mattresses as well as blankets, which I highly recommend renting both. It gets quite cold at the summit, so if you're spending any amount of time there, you're going to want something to keep you warm and cozy. We started to pack our things after we watched the sunrise and began our descent.
We just made a home. I don't want to leave them.
Oh no. Now you're too slow. We don't get all day. It's gonna be sunset before the time you get done.
Yeah. Oh, no.
So our descent was probably the most picturesque part of the hike. You have that early morning glowy sun coming over the mountains, as well as some wispy clouds rolling through. So it's just absolutely gorgeous. So we returned from the hike, took a little bit of a nap, and then headed right over to the Sea Dancer dive shop in the center of Dahab. This shop was recommended to us by one of our friends. The staff were really friendly, and we even met the shop manager, Flash. So we geared up to do our checkout dive, which was at a site right across the road from the dive shop, which is super convenient, really easy. And we were all up pretty much all night the night before, so we just wanted a pretty chill dive. It's also really fun to kind of get in the water with all of these families, just enjoying the beach, having fun. We got a nice night's rest, and in the morning we headed back to the shop and loaded up our gear into the truck to head over to the dive sites for the day. So the first dive that we would be doing that day is the Canyon dive site, which is on the way to the Blue Hole.
Show me your vest. That's awesome.
It's a really, really cool dive. Lots of beautiful corals, and then the canyon itself is like a split between the reef. So we had a spectacular dive at the canyon. As you can see, when we got out, the masses showed up, so that's why you want to get there early. For our surface interval, we pretty much just hopped in the back of the truck and started towards our next dive site, which is the infamous Blue Hole. So the Blue Hole in Dahab is one of the most famous dive sites in the world. Although it's known as the deadliest dive, the Blue Hole itself is not necessarily any more dangerous than any other dive that you would do, as long as you stay within your limits, as all good divers should. For the dive, you descend through the section called the Bells, which is a little very, very narrow archway. As you exit, you then drift along the wall towards the Blue Hole. The wall was beautiful. We saw cleaner wrasse and we essentially went to the dentist. We kept it pretty chill, drifted along the wall, and then we made it to kind of the entrance of the Blue Hole. So we had a spectacular dive at the Blue Hole. It was honestly so beautiful. We took off our dive gear and we had a beautiful little lunch at a nearby restaurant. And then we packed up and headed back to town. So with that, we come to an end of our adventures in Egypt, but come with us next time. We're heading to Jordan. We're going to explore canyons, the Dead Sea, Wadi Rum Desert, and of course, we're going to do some more diving. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.